So today we are going to be talking about my third grade curriculum picks for the upcoming 2024-25 school year. I am so excited because I think I'm a little bit more solidified in my third grade picks than I was in my second grade picks. Thanks to you guys. I did want to say a huge thank you to every single mama who left me a comment on my second grade curriculum picks video. A lot of you guys left just comments of just not encouragement, but also advice on what to do, what not to do. A lot of homeschool seasoned mamas with more experience, and just overall across the board, I was blown away by the comments and just getting so much advice. I loved it, and you guys truly helped me completely solidify my second graders kind of plan. I'm gonna wait for the clock to do its thing and then we'll jump back in a minute. That was actually one of my grandmother's clocks. She passed away about 3 or 4 weeks ago now. And every time I hear it, I just get transported back to her house because she had about 5 or 6 clocks that would sing and make music. So it took about 4 to 5 minutes because all the clocks were off by a little bit for all of them to go off. So whenever I hear the clocks, I truly get transported back to her house. And my son actually has one in his room as well. So if it goes off in a minute, we'll probably take another pause. Anyways, as I was saying, if you are also in the same boat as me, as being undecided for what to do with second grade, and if you have similar picks to me, I highly recommend going back to the second grade video and honestly just reading the comments and hearing what other mamas had to say as far as what to do and what not to do. It truly was a very valuable thing to me, and I really appreciate it. Today for our third grade curriculum picks, I'm going to give a little bit of context here so you kind of know what I'm thinking when it comes to my third grader's curriculum. My second and third grader are like this. They're best buddies, and I pray on a regular daily basis that they will always remain close, like they are the best of friends. Because they are so close, they like to do everything the same, and they like to do everything together at the same time the other person is doing it. If one person's doing math, that's when they also like to do math. Or they sometimes will rotate subjects based on what they want to do for the day, but for the most part, they want to start at the exact same time, but they also want to be done at the exact same time. Furthermore, they also want to do the same thing. So when I put my first grader in the McGuffies, my second grader was like, hey, I want to do that too since she's doing that. So we put him into the McGuffies. When we started Explode the Code with my first grader, my second grader was like, I want to do that. And so vice versa. So this video is going to be very similar to my second grade picks because I know my little ones, and I know that if I get all new across the board things, then my third grader will also probably want to do the same things because they, again, just want to do everything together. Anyways, with all of that being said, I am going to go ahead and jump into math. I have the exact same curriculum picks that I had for my second grader. So I did go ahead and purchase the first 5 light units of the Christian Light Education Arithmetic. I've had these for a couple of months now because a couple months ago I was really kind of just happy with where we were at in curriculum, and I'm going to go off on a little rabbit trail here in a second about that. But I did go ahead and purchase this a couple months ago thinking that that's what I wanted to do. So my little rabbit trail about Christian Light Education, again, I had purchased across the board all of my second grader's third grade, because this is third grade, all of his things. So I purchased his language arts, his arithmetic. I think that's it, because for reading, we were going to be set on doing the McGuffies. But I did go ahead and purchase these. But it was probably maybe 2 or 3 weeks after I felt a kind of pull and a desire to do something totally different. And I honestly can't even sit here and tell you guys why or what that pull and desire was. But I do remember intentionally praying that, the Lord direct me when it comes to choosing this, because I know choosing curriculum can seem like such a small thing and big thing, depending on who you ask. But I was wanting to further simplify our home, whether that mean items within it, or simplify our life by just getting rid of things, but also simplify in our homeschool. When I realized, once I started the McGuffies, once I realized how little it took to teach language arts, how little it took to teach reading and spelling, I was honestly completely blown away by the fact that I've been doing things a little bit wrong when it comes to needing to find all these little pieces to make sure things were covered, when in reality, everything was already getting covered. So after doing the McGuffies for a while and realizing, again, that in combination with the language arts bookmarks that I have shared multiple times on my channel, and I'll share them with you here in a second as well, but I just kind of realized that there's so much beauty in simplicity, and that all of these curriculums out there and all these things that we could be doing and all the things that that we could be adding into our homeschool aren't really like a huge necessity. But I also wanted to give more context that if you're new here, our family really just sticks with reading, writing, math, like the language arts type things, and that's it for our actual formal curriculum. You know, science right now in the little years is still being taught by living books and hands-on exploration by being outdoors all the time, like actually being in nature. We do a lot of living books and things like that that have to do with whatever the kids are interested in. That's our core science. For history, we do some read alouds, and geography, we incorporate 5 in a row, which I'll be sharing in my next video, and I'll show you how we are using that this coming year, and things like that for our history. But I don't have a core curriculum for history, a core curriculum for science, a core curriculum for every little thing. I just don't have the time for that per se. And I think for our family in particular, and I do know every family is different when it comes to this, with just sticking to the necessities as our core things that we get done throughout the day, we're done in probably under an hour and a half. That's, you know, even with breaks and things and wiggle breaks in between, we're done with our core lessons. And the longest it's taken us to get done with the core lessons is probably 2 hours. And that was because we had maybe 10 to 15 minute breaks between subjects instead of the 5 to 10 minutes. But for the most part, we're done, and then we can move on with the day. The kids can play the rest of the day. We can actually have time to do read alouds. I have time to, you know, do all the, you know, cooking and everything like that without being stressed out and overwhelmed. And there's just, again, a lot of value for our family in keeping things very simple while also being teacher friendly. The kids are growing, and I love it so much. So that was a very long rabbit trail. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the other curriculum here. As I showed you the Christian Light Education Math, these next 3 are the exact same things that I showed you for my 2nd grade video. I have already been doing this a little bit with my 3rd grader, but this is the book 3 of the Charlotte Mason Elementary Arithmetic series. This has been incredible so far. I've really been enjoying it. And what I decided to do with this is if I felt like we needed more help either with number sentences or things like that, I am going to go ahead and for my 3rd grader put him in the Ray's New Intellectual Arithmetic. If he needs some more practice and stuff like that, this is a really good substitute for that. And I've also been dabbling a little bit into the Hamilton's Arithmetic. But again, these types of math books are just so simple. They are still open and go, but they're also oral. So I love that. And my little guy, he's a very active little guy as well. So he, I'm going to be honest as well, really has been struggling, as in currently has been struggling with the Christian Light Education Math, just because there is a lot to do with it, and it's advancing pretty quickly. Whereas, and we've already jumped into his 3rd grade elementary, the Charlotte Mason book, and he's been loving it just because it's something, I think it's also because it's something different, because we've been doing the Christian Light Education now for about 2.5 years at this point. But doing something that is 100% oral right now has just been a breath of fresh air, I think, for the whole family, but really for him specifically, because we can be outside taking a walk like around our little nature trail, and I can be carrying this with me, and I'll just ask him questions and he can answer them super quickly. He's adding so quickly now. He can multiply like the basic multiplication things very quickly now just by doing this and this. And again, we're outside walking, we're outside like playing. He can be swinging, and it's just like in my mind I'm like, how is this even school sometimes? But it is, and all 3 things of these are just like, they've grown so beautifully in them, yet they're simple. It takes 10, maybe 15 minutes to do. And as I mentioned in my 2nd grade curriculum picks video, there is no having to bring them back to attention. There's no having to bring them back like, okay, let's focus, let's get it done. There is none of that when we do all 3 of these books. And I say all 3 because I have dabbled into every single one of them. That's why this is like a curriculum type picks, options, things I'm thinking about video. But with these 2, especially Ray's Arithmetic, since most of it is oral, it's just so easy that I don't see or foresee a season where I can't just ask them questions. You know what I mean? I'm not having to sit down for 20 minutes to do math manipulatives or things like that. This is just oral practice, which I absolutely love. And again, it's so simple. It's still open and go, and I love it for them. So, but yeah, I guess I'm still undecided. However, I am going to keep this in case I need it, if that makes sense for math. The other thing I wanted to mention, I did get, actually, you know what? I think I have it behind me. One second. Here they are. I have these, they're called sentence cards, and they come with the Charlotte Mason Math. And from the reading I've done and from what I'm able to understand, what these are for is if I am having to walk away for a moment and take care of the baby or take care of something else, what I am doing, or what they say to do, is you get one of these little sentence cards out. They're number sentence cards, and you give one of these to your students, and they have to write these down on their paper or in their graph notebook as a way, because there's a bunch of them here, but this is just as a way to keep them engaged if you do need to step away. So if I'm in the middle of a lesson and I'm reading him questions to do with math, and if, let's say, one of the toddlers fell or I need to go change his baby's diaper, I can easily walk away and give him a number card saying, hey, go ahead and write out this number sentence card by the time I get back, and then we'll review, making sure, you know, everything is correct. And then his math notebook here, this is this the half-inch graph paper? Yeah. This is his little graph paper that he'll be using when it comes to writing down the number sentences. So these two things, and then this will probably end up being his core. But the thing is, and as I mentioned in my second grade video, you can still grab the number sentence cards. I want to say these were $10, something like that. And this was $4 or $5. I could have that wrong. I'll have it linked down below if you want to take a look at it. But you could use the graph paper and number sentence cards and still use just the Raise Arithmetic as your core or Hamilton's as your core, and do it the exact same way. If you're in the middle of doing a Raise Arithmetic lesson, which is wonderfully done, I still might lean towards that one. I'm not sure yet. So if you're still doing that lesson, you can still have him write the questions and numbers out in the book. Give him one of these if you're walking away, and it's just, I love it. It's so simple. It's so simple, and again, I love it. Something that's totally random, but we've really been enjoying when it comes to him learning his multiplication tables, is I got this Pop fidget toy. It comes with 169 flashcards, and you can put whatever set of numbers that they're working on. You can put them on like the large ring here. But one of the things, and I know these are everywhere, so one of the things that it comes with though, and it's behind me again, one second. One of the things that it comes with is the 12 by 12 multiplication little Pop-It. He loves this. So if your little ones are doing the multiplication tables as well, I highly recommend. It's something so fun, and it's actually really helped him learn his multiplication tables. So that was a fun kit that I had to share that we are incorporating into his math just for something fun. So moving on to like the language arts and reading type things, I am doing for reading, this is 100% solidified, these next few things. For his third grade level, I ended up getting level 3 of Sherry Hayes' lesson book, and he's also with this going to be doing the McGuffey second reader. So this again will be his core reading curriculum. I'm so excited. He hasn't started this yet. I'm kind of holding off until probably late July, August, and then we'll begin the new set. So the McGuffies and the lesson book is my core reading curriculum, and it's honestly a little bit of my language arts curriculum as well, because as I've shared in multiple videos, I do use and love all of these language arts bookmarks. It's comprehension, grammar, paragraph writing, grammar check-in, readiness guide. I love these so much. I will have the link down below from the Etsy shop that I get these from, but they are just phenomenal. If this is your first time seeing them, I highly, highly recommend, because you can really use these and then take any reader or book and turn that into a full language arts curriculum. So with the bookmarks as well, I also have several of these language arts charts that I did get also from Christian Light Education. So this is just the basic language arts reference chart for grades 3 and 4, but this is also wonderful because you can take a chart like this and essentially you can take any book, any reader like the McGuffies, and turn it into a full-on language arts curriculum because you have a simple one-page guide. So I love this. And just to throw this out there as well, and the reason why it's not in this video, because I definitely decided not to do it, is I also picked up the Fix-It Grammar for him as well. But because of my last video, I had so many recommendations of people saying not to use it because they weren't ready for it, and then it made me go back and look into it a little more, and it wasn't, something that I wanted to do anymore. So thank you again for shedding light onto it. It is actually very challenging for the little ears right now. So we're going to stick with the McGuffies as the core of his language arts with this little packet of the bookmarks and the reference charts just to keep us on track. So what I noticed when using the McGuffies for language arts is it really helps him. We're reading a story, then he's picking apart the parts of speech because he really already knows that all because we've been doing it with the McGuffie. So this combination with the bookmarks and the McGuffie readers, it's simple. We're done with every single thing to have to do with language arts. I'm talking spelling, narration, dictation, everything in under 20 minutes. It's done. So I love these. The other two things I did get to go alongside with them, and this is more of the busy work for if I am doing reading with my second grader, I'm just calling her first grader, but soon to be second grader, then he can be doing this. But I did get the Explode the Code 5. This is a wonderful, wonderful addition to do with the McGuffies. The McGuffies does have everything you really need to do the full language arts curriculum. This is just the open and go kind of phonics mastery. It also helps him with spelling. I've noticed with him, particularly for my soon-to-be third grader, that this actually helps him more with spelling than doing an actual spelling list because it's very repetitive, like a lot of the same words you use over and over again. So this is actually a good spelling thing for him that he really does enjoy. The other thing I got for him is when it comes to grammar, again, those grammar bookmarks and then the language arts charts, I really think is all we need right now for the McGuffies. However, if I do want something more open and go, or if I'm in a busy season, I did go ahead and buy level 2 and level 3 because honestly I wasn't sure what he would be ready for of the gentle grammar books. I went ahead and bought a level 1 for my daughter since we're just going to go ahead, instead of doing fix-it grammar, just let her do gentle grammar as well for if we need that extra grammar practice. But I love these. Again, it is just 1 page a day and you're just practicing very simple exercises, but again, it's just, you know, a few sentences and then you're done for the day. So for his complete language arts, reading, writing, spelling, everything, it's going to be lesson book with the McGuffies, a whole pocket full of the bookmarks, and the charts will be his core language arts thing. And then for grammar, if we choose to do this more regularly, will be the gentle grammar. And then as we need or as he wants to, will be Explode the Code. So this is the core 100% necessity. These two are the ones where if we need some busy work to fill in the time while we're working with his sister, or if we're needing just extra practice and just solidifying concepts, these will come out. But so far, our every single day schedule is going to be this reading, writing thing, as well as his math. So this will be his probably every single day thing so far. But again, I really do just like raised arithmetic for him specifically. I mentioned in my second grade video that I really like the Charlotte Mason for my second grade, but for my third grader, I might do the intellectual math from Raise. I might end up doing that one. But again, those are the only two things that I'm not 100% solidified is whether or not to do this or Raise. But that's everything. That is everything that I have for my third grader for the upcoming school year. I, guys, am again very, very excited about simplicity and about how simple it is and about the peace that it brings our family when I, as a homeschool mama, realize how little it takes to teach our kids these beautiful core things. I'm seeing them grow in their academics beautifully with zero stress. And I love that because again, there's no pull for keeping them on track or keeping them, you know, concentrating or anything like that. And it's just like the peace that it has provided has been beautiful. And everything, honestly, for the most part, especially for my third grader, everything's relatively, it's still open and go. And then of course, gentle grammar, Explode the Code, they are open and go as well. So it's still going to be very simple. And that's kind of like my key word for the year is simplifying, but also just peace as well. Because I've seen it provide both to our family just so much. And I've been loving those combinations. So anyway, I do want to thank you guys again for being here and for watching today's video. And to those of you who left comments in my last video, thank you again. You really helped me solidify what we're going to be doing for the upcoming school year / kind of what we're already doing now as we jumpstart into the next levels for our kiddos. But thank you guys again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until my next one, you guys have a great day, whatever you're doing, and God bless. Bye guys.